2, and I am reconvening to open session and calling to order the regular Board of Education meeting for Indian Prairie District 204 on Monday, May 1st, 2023. Michelle, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Donahue,
Here.
Ms. Deming,
Present.
Mr. Rising,
Here.
Ms. Jane,
Here.
Ms. Grover, and Mr. Carubus.
Here.
We have a quorum. Ms. Grover, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America.
Our next regular board meeting will be on Monday, May 15th. We have 8 board salutes today. We'll start with Mr. Carubus. Do you have one?
Janine Nicarico Memorial Fund grant funding. The Janine Nicarico, she would have been 49 years old this year. Memorial Fund for Literacy provided $2,500 to all schools in District 204 for professional learning in literacy. Additional grants were awarded to my former elementary school, Clow, Perfect Pitch for Literacy, Patterson Elementary School, Accessibility Writing for Students with Disabilities, and Springbrook Elementary, Diversity Literature for All. The Janine Nicarico Memorial Fund for Literacy looks forward to the creative grants that come in each year to foster literacy growth in the community. The funding is made possible by the generous donors, sponsors, and their annual Glow 5K event. Thanks to the Janine Nicarico Memorial Fund for Literacy for supporting District 204 students.
All right, Ms. Jane.
National Merit Scholarship winners announced. The National Merit Scholarship Corporation released the names of the first group of winners in the 68th Annual National Merit Scholarships Program. Approximately 840 distinguished high school seniors have won corporate-sponsored National Merit Scholarship Awards financed by about 107 corporations, company foundations, and other business organizations. 2 District 204 high school seniors who were named in this year's competition. District 204's National Merit corporate-sponsored scholars are Aruv Dund and Kartikeya Rama Raju from Neuqua Valley High School. Congratulations to each of you on your achievement.
Ms. Dumming.
District 204 students chosen for Special Olympics Chicago Unified Team. The board salutes Mateo Valley Senior Adrian Gonzalez, Neuqua Valley Junior Adam Jeffrey, and STEP student MJ Palmquist for being selected as part of the Special Olympics Chicago Fire Unified Team. This team is considered a part of the Chicago Fire Soccer Organization. This team is made up of both Unified Partners and Special Olympics athletes. Congratulations, Adrian, Adam, and MJ. VEI Youth Business Summit Global Innovation Challenge. The board salutes Neuqua Valley Senior Tanisha Agarwal for participating in the VEI Youth Business Summit in New York and being part of an international team who won first place in the Global Innovation Challenge. The Youth Business Summit brings together thousands of rising young professionals, budding entrepreneurs, educators, school and district administrators, business leaders, and industry professionals from around the world for a one-of-a-kind global convention. Congratulations to Tanisha and the team for this outstanding achievement.
Mr. Rising.
Illinois Principal Association Student Awards. The board salutes several District 204 students who were recently honored at the DuPage region of the Illinois Principal Association Student Recognition Breakfast. The students were recognized for making positive contributions to their schools and were selected by their principals for achieving high school spirit, having a positive attitude towards classmates, and possessing strength of character and the courage to do what is right. The following seniors were recognized with Illinois Principal Association's awards: Noah Larson, Saad Quarishi, and Zoe Williams from Mattia Valley, Sam Hotchkiss and Salima Scott from Neuqua Valley, and Sarah Fulner and Zari Robinson from Waubonsie Valley. We congratulate these students and celebrate their success.
Do you have a second one?
I do. Thank you for asking. District 204 Administrator awarded with an Education Award. The board salutes Assistant Superintendent Dr. Nicole Howard on being awarded with the Education Award from the DuPage County NAACP at their 65th Annual Freedom Fund Gala. The DuPage NAACP has been advocating for the civil rights of the residents in DuPage, Kane, Kendall, Northwest Suburban Cook, and Will counties. Congratulations, Dr. Howard.
And last but not least, Ms. Grover with her last board salute.
Yes. SIFMA Foundation awards District 204 student. The board salutes Fry Elementary 5th grade student Danielle Rizvi, who placed first in Illinois and second nationally in the Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association Foundation Invest Right competition. Danielle competed among thousands of students around the country to write the best essay about long-term investing and the capital markets. The SIFMA Foundation is dedicated to fostering knowledge and understanding of the financial markets for individuals of all backgrounds. Congratulations, Danielle, on a job well done. I have one more. Waubonsie Valley Assistant Principal named Outstanding Administrator finalist. The board salutes Waubonsie Valley Assistant Principal Jason Schmidtgel for being named a finalist in the 2023 Illinois PTA Outstanding Administrator of the Year program. Each year, Illinois PTA receives nominations from local PTA units recognizing the outstanding contributions of their volunteers, teachers, and administrators to the PTA mission. Congratulations, Jason.
So let's give applause for all of those great accomplishments. We next have our student representative report from Vishwan and Siraj.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rishwant Amsraj, and I'm the Executive Board Representative from Metea Valley High School. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you all today. First, let's begin with some general updates. Metea Valley Student Government has organized our prom event, A Night on Cloud 9, on April 20th, attending this spectacular event. The freshman class has collected 5 boxes, 3 backpacks full of donated school supplies for the Turning Point Foundation. Not only that, they've also collected over 800 new, gently or used books that were donated to the Bernie's Book Bank. Great job, Mustangs. The Mental Health Awareness Week was a great time and opportunity for our staff and students to explore mental health concepts and to help those in need. The Spirit Week was also another success with great participation from our staff and students. The Administrative Assistant Day was an important event that allowed students to show appreciation for our supporting staff for all the work that they do across our school. Similarly, during the month of April, LMC Appreciation Month was celebrated, allowing students to express their gratitude towards our amazing LMC and the great work that our LMC staff accomplish on a day-to-day basis. The Metea Valley students attended the SAT and PSAT testings on April 11th and April 12th, which yielded great results. Scores will be released soon, so best of luck to all of you who have participated in this important next step towards your future. From May 1st to May 5th, Staff Appreciation Week will take course. This will allow staffs to receive prizes such as coffee, raffle draws, notes from students, donuts, gift cards, and so much more. Next up, our Fine Arts Division. Metea Valley Spring Musical, Big Fish, was a great success, allowing our extremely talented Mustangs to display their skills on stage. The Metea Valley High School Korean Percussion Ensemble performed at the Northern Illinois University World Music Concert on Saturday, April 15th at the Botel Memorial Concert Hall. The students performed in collaboration with NIU's Korean Percussion Ensemble and performed their pieces on stage. They shared the stage with many other performances such as the mariachi, Thai music, Western African and Afro-Cuban music, Javanese music, Chinese music, and the capoeira from Brazil. Overall, an amazing performance from our Fine Arts Division, and we can't wait to see what our amazing Mustangs do next. Finally, our athletics. Across the board, Metea Spring Sports have been doing a great job with their training and performance. Despite the recent poor weather, our outdoor sports have been doing a great job completing at high levels and staying resilient throughout this tough time. Similarly, our indoor sports are continuing their tough training and preparing for upcoming competitions. Matia is hosting regionals for girls soccer, sectionals for boys tennis, girls track, girls badminton, and both girls and boys water polo. All of Matia's sports are accomplishing great things, and only time can tell what our gifted Mustangs will achieve next in a couple of weeks, considering that the conference for tournaments and state series are going to come up. That's all for the May Board Report. Thank you for your time. Stay safe, and go Mustangs.
Thank you. That was your very first time, and I noticed that I said Wabanzi, and it was Matia, so thank you for
No
that.
problem. For future, you can also call me Rish. It might be easier.
Thank you, Rich. Yeah. All right. Now we are going to have a proclamation.
So this is a bittersweet time for us on the board as we say, I'm going to use the term so long to someone and not goodbye, because she will always be part of the Indian Prairie community as a parent, and then for all the work she has done volunteering, also here on the board as a volunteer for the work you do. And so I have a proclamation to read in praise of Natasha Grover for the work she has done for Indian Prairie School District, for our students, and for also the school systems across the state of Illinois. So if you will just bear with me as I read. Whereas Natasha Grover was first appointed to the Indian Prairie School District 204 Board of Education in October 2018 and was successfully elected on April 2nd, 2019 to serve a 4-year term. As an active volunteer in the community, she has dedicated extensive time and energy to organizations both within and outside of the school district. And whereas both before serving on the Indian Prairie Board of Education, Ms. Grover spent time as an active volunteer in her children's schools, which included Welch Elementary, Scullin Middle School, and Neuqua Valley High School. And whereas Ms. Grover assisted in the search process to select the current superintendent to lead the district. And whereas Ms. Grover was provided valuable guidance in the area of fiscal responsibility and has served as a good steward of District 204 taxpayers. And whereas Ms. Grover is a strong believer in quality education for every child, she has worked tirelessly with the Indian Prairie School District Board of Education to present a belief statement on behalf of and to the Illinois Association of School Boards entitled Prepare All Students to Succeed, which passed without comments. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Indian Prairie School District 204 Board of Education, Administration, and Community honor Natasha Grover for her outstanding service. We thank her for her willingness to actively participate as an elected official and volunteer leader, which has been of great value to all stakeholders in the district. We wish her all the best as she concludes her final term on the board and leaves behind a legacy of caring and commitment to our school board, signed by all the members of the board and administration. Let me just do one more presentation for you. This is your own one that you can hang up in your home as well. Natasha Grover, board member, in sincere recognition of your dedication and service 2019 to 2023.
Should we get a picture in the front? Yeah, let's get
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say it has been an honor and privilege to serve the 204 community. I'm grateful to the students. We have students here, to the parents, to the administration, the staff, for their support for each other, as well as to the students. I have learned so much from the board here, from Superintendent Dr. Talley, from the previous superintendent, Dr. Sullivan, and board members Kathy Peel and Mike Razak, and I appreciate the opportunity for me to grow and learn, and it's been great working with you all. And we are 204 because of our community, and I might not be on the board anymore, but I have a high schooler, so I will definitely be volunteering and continue volunteering for the district. Thank you.
Natasha, I would also like to thank you for all of your work. I mean, people don't understand what all this involves as a school board member. There's much more than 2 meetings a month. And you've been a tireless advocate for mental health issues, for equity issues, for the standards of education, academic strength, and safety in our district. And you've just been an outstanding person to work with, and I know where you live, and I know that you'll still be very active in our community and will always be our friend. So thank you. All right. Now it's time for public comment, and 60 minutes is allowed. Each minute is limited to 3 minutes. When addressing the board, we ask that you respect the confidentiality and safety of our students and school district personnel. We also ask that those addressing the board be cognizant that this is an open meeting and is available to all our age groups, and as such, ask that you consider who the audience members are this evening and keep comments age appropriate. Public comment represents the voice and opinion of the speaker. There will be no feedback from the board members during the meeting, but follow-up will be provided by an administrator as appropriate. Although this is not required, it is helpful for the board to know whether the comments and concerns we hear are being raised by residents. So we ask that you state if you live in the district and if you currently have children in our schools. So today we have 10 speakers. The first speaker is Alicia Smith.
.204 needs to have equity in both busing and successful schools. .204 says that they are updating each neighborhood's busing routes over the next several years. Where is this schedule? A schedule that says when each neighborhood's route is up for review, when was the last IDOT rating, and what was that rating? What is the rationale for spreading out the updates over such a long time period? Why did some neighborhoods' busing end already, but some will not end for a while? The district was able to figure out busing for both grandfathered students and new boundaries within a few months. Currently, this busing plan is not transparent or equitable. From what I can tell, only students from the Aurora side of the district have had their busing removed. The Aurora side of White Eagle, Gombert neighborhoods, and Stonebridge. The district needs to make sure this information is available and communicated clearly. .204 also needs equity in having successful schools. 4 .204 schools fall below the state average in testing: Fisher, McCarty, Georgetown, and Longwood. When the district designed the boundaries of Gombert, Longwood, and McCarty, it gave them a low-income population that is more than double the district average of 18%. Georgetown's low-income population is more than tripled the district average of 18%. Then the district created even more inequity by having 3 out of these 4 schools feed into Fisher Middle School. A student attending either Georgetown or McCarty from kindergarten to 5th grade, and then Fisher from 6th grade to 8th grade, will have attended a school for 9 years that has not met the state average in testing. School districts do not have to create inequitable schools that cannot meet the state testing averages. Naperville 203's low-income average is 15%, and does not have a single school with a low-income average that is more than double the district average. As a result, every single school in Naperville 203 is well above the state average in testing. This has nothing to do with the funds that they receive. We deserve to be included in the district's educational excellence. We want equitable schools for Fisher, Georgetown, Gombert, Longwood, and McCarty, and equitable busing for all students. It shouldn't matter what side of Route 59 you live on. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Veronica Andrade.
Good evening. My name is Veronica Andrade. I have 3 students, twins at Gombert and a 3rd grader at Gombert. This district is obligated to make equitable decisions to all students in 204 when it comes to learning and transportation. The path that my children will take to Fisher Middle School in a couple years is not safe. While the district thinks it's safe on paper, if you drive down Eola Road during all hours, you will have witnessed the dangerous driving conditions. And as we all know, the tragedies that exist because of the accidents on that road has been more frequent in just this year. And while the administration office has said that those dangers don't exist during the times when students are walking along that path to school, that logic doesn't make sense. Danger doesn't just disappear for certain hours of the day, and we shouldn't wait for a tragedy to happen to one of our students during walking hours to deem those paths unsafe. The district is playing a dangerous game with probability in which our students are the pawns of that is unacceptable. Please reinstate the busing for our students to go to Fisher Middle School. 204 loves to pride itself for promoting equity throughout the district, yet the district felt that it was in their best judgment to create a middle school in which all 3 Title I elementary schools will feed into. This is the breeding ground for a host of negative student behavior, poor teacher turnaround, and low academic test scores. Our children deserve better. District 204 has stated in its equity statement that they are an equitable school and they need to make decisions about these things so that our children are receiving equitable education. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Akshata Navathor.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to present, based on the email which not all affected district families received from Meteor Valley High School on March 21st, 2023, which mentioned that few of our residents do not qualify for district transportation services based on the living distance less than 1.5 miles from Meteor Valley High School. I would like to present one such situations for a few of the homes in our community. I live in a subdivision where we have around 10 homes. 6 of the homes will qualify for district transportation services because they are over 1.5 miles, and 4 of the homes, including mine, do not qualify. Even though it's the same subdivision, it's the same stop, but we are not going to receive it. So there are few of the considerations or the safety conditions that we observed when we went through. One, there were no sidewalks, and it was rough terrain at the main entrance of the subdivision. And various large vehicles like large semi-trucks, buses, large vans, etc. travel at the provided speed limit, but over 45 miles per hour. And this is not just my home. There are few homes that are affected by this decision. And when few of the homes do receive it, only quite a few handful of homes do not qualify for this. I would really appreciate if the board considers such homes to be added into the qualification, because they do get the same bus stop, so that some of the homes can qualify for those situations. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Pinkel Shah.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Pankil Shah. Thanks for this opportunity again to speak, and my topic is the bus service. There is enough said. Just wanted to hit on a couple of the key areas. I have 2 young kids. They currently attending the Brooks Elementary. And then we are unfortunately the part of the area that got affected. I came to know via social media, like I said in the last meeting. Upon raising that, decision, we as a community did the brainstorming, and we were strictly considering the safety areas because of the busy road, the Eola Road. And then, after the decision that you guys have made, right, in terms of safety, right, I want to emphasize on key points regarding the increase of traffic on the Yola Road. Based on the Aurora Police Traffic Violation Report, since 2021, there have been total of 436 traffic violations reported in District 14, which includes, all the impacted areas, of course. I have the breakdown of those 436. 331 occurrences, that makes up to 76% of those violations are purely on Yola Road. 20% and the 66 occurrences of these violations are reported on the Eola and the Indian Trail intersection. That's a key point, and I'll get back to it. 44 occurrences, or 13%, of these violations are reported in a combination of Eola and Molitor and Eola and Stonebridge Boulevard intersections. Those second and third point I would go over in detail a little bit, but the last point that I want to make was 5% or 17 of the occurrences that happened on the Eola and the Deal intersections. Now, couple of pointers. The first one, there are close to 40% of this violation taking place, 38% to be precise, between the Deal and Indian Trail Road of the Eola. And then I came to know about the community called Country Club Village. And unfortunately, they were impacted with this closure of the bus service, but they were excused. And I believe, I don't know if you guys can provide or shed light on, what are the bases that the decision was reversed. But I believe that's the two numbers that I given out, 20% or the 66 occurrences, and then our side of, Indian Trail, Eola is 13% and 44 occurrences. So if the same remedy that was applied to excuse the country club zone to residents, same should be applied for the Stonebridge, Stonebrook, Harris Farm, and Palomino Springs communities. So based upon about this fact, I seriously would plead you guys to reconsider the decision and hopefully, restore the bus service for the kids' safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Patel. Mr. Patel.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you again for giving me an opportunity. And I'm here representing my community and talking about the same issues what other gentlemen mentioned about the Mitya bus restoration. So I have two kids going into the Brooks Elementary. We have moved into this area 4 or 5 years ago, knowing the great school districts and great schools ratings and all the services. And also I would like to thank Mr. Johnson for responding to all of our parents' queries, email respond over the weekend, on Friday nights. So we really, really appreciate his effort. And I don't want to drain the point that one of my other neighbors mentioned, but then the one point that I would like to continue emphasize is the student safety. Considering we all live into the weather, we all see outside, we are already in May, and it's freezing outside when I was even walking from the parking lot into the building. So thinking about kids wearing their snow boots, and even my little daughter who goes into the Brooks, her backpack is really heavy. So considering this, kids going into the high school, assuming carrying their music instruments, participating into a lot of the extracurricular activities, where the district is expecting them to walk into the sidewalk, which are never salted, never cleared. And going back to the Eola's point, where literally traffic is 50 miles an hour, that I realized when we did the mini protest, silence protest, a few days back when we are in the street, which was eye-opening for me that I definitely do not want any community kids to walk on this area, knowing that there are a lot of accidents in the past. Just to give you another example, I also contacted Aurora Police Department, where they put a lot of traffic sign where they were not open to release the information who requested it, but a lot of people requesting a sign for managing the traffics, assuming there is a lot of traffic issue. So that's another safety concern. And then going back to other point, I was reading over the weekend on the health equity statement that District 204 mentioned. I consider school bus, as you can see a lot of the posters, it's more of a requirement, it's a basic need, not a privilege. So I would like to request to reconsider the decision and also give us an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with few of you where we can have some specific dialogues and where we can get our question answered. Because the way we received the information from Mr. Johnson, I think we still need to connect the dots, and a lot of the information are not, I wouldn't say legally meeting the requirements, but I think there are a lot of the gaps that I feel like we should get alignment. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Hiran Mehta.
Good evening, board members, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak to you about the points which we want to talk to you about. Over the past 3 or 4 weeks, a lot of concerned parents have been speaking at board meetings. Not only last 3-4 weeks, it's been since last year that parents have been coming to you and expressing the concerns that they need busing services. But we are not sure what is happening out here, where the things are getting lost. So there has been a lot of back and forth between you and parents out here. The topic I wanted to speak on is board judgment points. We as parents cannot understand, given all the safety concerns, you are asking kids to walk 1.5 miles in the dark, in the winter, on icy roads, cars zipping by, and you keep on saying it's safe to walk across. Why does the board not give safety judgment points? IDOT has given you enough freedom to give those judgment points. Like they say, these are judgment points. These are not simply rule-based points that you can just say, oh, it does not meet this rule, so we cannot give this point. They are saying the board has to use their judgment points based on their local knowledge of the conditions. And everything has been proved that Eola Road is a very hazardous road. There's a speed of traffic, accident history. All the parents have mentioned that. So we are not able to understand why the judgment points are not being considered. There have been examples provided from other school districts like Downers Grove, 308 district, Wheaton, where the board has provided up to 2 judgment points on nothing more than a 2.5 line of justification, 2.5 line of justification, and a map saying, pointing, hazard. That's about it. Those are the points on which the board has provided judgment points. So our question is, why is Naperville 203 or 204 district not awarding those judgment points when so many things have been brought to the forefront? Okay, what are some of the conditions? IDOT gives you the flexibility to provide the judgment points. The criteria which we said, high speed, accidents, everything is there. Parents out here are concerned. In each and every email you state at the top, safety of student is a top priority. So you have the good intentions. Again, you mentioned there are no budget considerations going into this. So if IDOT is giving you the permission, you don't have any problems, you have the best interest of kids, then why are the judgment points not being provided, not just for our neighborhoods, but for all of the neighborhoods? Why is it not being provided? That's a simple question. The other point is, so other districts which I mentioned about.
Ms. Donahue, the speaker time has ended.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
I request you to look into it. Thank you.
Next speaker is Parneet Arora. Parneet.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Praneeth and a district resident. By now, probably you know my name. There have been emails to and fro, and I'm on all those emails. I'm here representing this community and our concerns. I'm going to be blunt. I'm very sorry. We've talked a lot on the emails, but I'll put forth the points right away now. The school district keeps calling it a service. It is not just a service. It is a safe mode of transportation for our kids, which is very well used and appreciated, knowing that Eola is not a safe route, with ever-growing horrendous traffic during the morning busy hours. The school software is spitting out walk path options that in some cases is more than 1.5 miles. Of course, the school district does not take the responsibility of calling any one path safer than the other because they know they are not safe. It is maintained that there are no budgetary concerns, but we believe that this is only to show a better P&L picture. We believe that it is for safety of our kids, it's just a line item on your P&L. The human mind is going to take shortcuts. Everybody in this room knows that. The decision is consciously inviting kids to walk on the shortest gravel things. Neither the gravel path nor the software plotted walk paths are shoveled, salted, or cleaned at 6:45 a.m. in the morning, let alone the snow-blowing trucks loading them with more snow turning into ice or black ice. Sorry, but this is a cautious decision to make the kids walk easy 40 minutes on these unsafe paths and meet with accidents. And yes, there are parents who have done in-depth study of documents on your website and have questions on evaluation process and results obtained as such. There has not been an evaluation after 2008 until recently. Why and where are the reports to compare the two studies? Strategically, the decision is going against community well-being, knowingly choosing a decision to create more chaos on the roads, leading to more anxiety and more accidents right in and around Mattia, thus causing hurt to the students and the parents. Two wrongs don't make a right. If the school district has done it in the past, then we believe the board, by its position and authority, should step up, execute the judgmental points, and put safety of the kids foremost, which clearly isn't happening. We understand some people present here had to walk to school for different reasons when they were growing up, but does that really mean that we want to take it away from other kids, whereas we can possibly provide them with a safe bus route? To conclude, a student of the Mattia shared on the social media during our awareness campaign, in his own words, "I'm a student at Mattia, and while I now have a car to drive to school, I did walk quite often in my sophomore year. It takes about 20 minutes in good weather, 35
Donahue,
minutes
the
snow."
speaker's time has
And
ended.
yes,
Thank you very much.
Sir, we request you to
next-
reconsider the decision. Thank you.
Next speaker is Caitlin DeVolder.
Hi there, my name's Caitlin DeVolder. I live in the district. I have a daughter at Gombert and a daughter at Fisher Middle School. I came today to talk about the problems that we are having within Fisher Middle School. I came to the past coffee and conversations meeting that you guys held. 90% of the parents were from Fisher, even though it was a sit-down for 7 different schools. And I didn't even get a chance to talk because there were so many parents concerned with the violence, the bullying, and the educational issues going on at Fisher. Honestly, I think the administration is kind of fighting a losing game over there, and they need help from the district. I, as always, want to talk about busing as well. Just reiterate everything that they're saying. It's not safe out there. I understand that from your perspective, we have to go towards the state to get this fixed, but I hope maybe as parents and as the school board together, if we approach the state, maybe they'll make some changes. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Giapali Grandson.
Hey everyone, hey board members, thanks for giving this opportunity. My name is Gopala Ganeshan and my son is going to Mitya Valley School. So I came here to speak about the bus transportation problem. So we recently moved to Stonebridge. The one and only reason we bought a home there was the first criteria we had was like it had a school bus, and we need not, because I go to office to downtown early morning like before 7, and my wife also is working early morning, right? So both of us will leave. So when we have the school bus, right, like we need, one thing is we need not worry about our kid safety. He'll be going to the school and he'll be safe when we are returning back. Now just now we heard that the bus is not going to be there, and he has to walk like more than 1 mile, right, every day, early morning, and it's like putting us in a very painful situation. Like we are so worried, like the safety of the kid, especially that ULR road. The road is very mixed, very traffic. Okay, it's very difficult to go from our home to the school and coming back, and especially in the early morning. That is one thing. Second, he is in he is in sports and he is in music. So every day he carry the violin and all the sports equipment and everything every day. Okay, so I really don't know how he will be doing all those things. Third thing is like even if there is a very bad weather and we have to drop in the early morning and go to office late, right? Right now it's taking 30 minutes. From my home to drop the kid in the school. There is a huge traffic, almost from Stonebridge or even before that. Okay, it takes like more than 30 minutes, and if the bus is cut, most probably it will be going for like more than 45 minutes just to drop the kid in car, I'm telling. Okay, so I would request please reconsider the school bus policy, and it will be great if we can restore our bus for Metea Valley. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Our last speaker is Shashil Kumar.
Hello, board members. I'd like to express my gratitude for all your volunteering work you do for the school districts. Yeah, it takes a lot, and there are not a lot of people who do that. So thank you for everything you do. I'm here representing my community and myself. My kids go to Brooks and Granger Middle School, and they'll be going to Metea Valley High School in a couple of years, and we are impacted by the busing decision. The question I wanted to ask the board members was, the Metea Valley School has been offering the bus service to our community and our neighborhood since 2009. It's been, I guess, about 14 years since then. What changed? What has changed since then that led the board to make this decision? What I understand and what we are failing to understand is the traffic on Yola has grown substantially since then. I've heard from board members that funding is not an issue. If funding is not an issue, buses were there. Safety is a huge concern, not just for me, but everybody in the community. Why are we canceling the bus service? Why are we making this decision? This would be the prime question I'd like to ask the board members, and I'd like to have them reconsider this decision for all the reasons everybody else presented today. And it's a serious safety issue, and I personally have a story where me and my wife, we met an accident at the intersection of Yola and Molitor. A couple of months ago, we were taking a right turn on Yola from Molitor, which is the intersection where the school is. School is at Molitor and Yola. I was taking a right turn on, when I say right turn, I was heading south on Yola. A high schooler came from his car, and we had an accident there at that intersection. It's that unsafe. And I was thinking, when this decision was made, I was thinking, my God, this intersection is very difficult, it's very crowded. I know everybody else mentioned this, and I'd like to reiterate that I had that accident, we met that accident, and we should reconsider this decision because it will make it worse. There will be more accidents, and we don't want to lose any lives. It's our lives, our kids' lives, and we are part of community. We need to respect that. So that's my, humble, request to the board members, and to think through that and revisit that. Maybe take a tour at 2:30 when the school gets over, and make a wise decision on this topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we now move to our consent agenda, which we don't have one, right? And superintendent report.
Thank you, Ms. Donahue, members of the Board of Education and Indian Prairie community. I want to start my comments by thanking all the volunteers who have given their time and energy to our students and schools over this school year. We recently had Volunteer Appreciation Week, and I want everyone to know that our schools are as good as they are in part to the great volunteers who spend time supporting our students and our organization. To the mothers, fathers, grandparents, aunts, uncles, businesses, and all others who volunteer, thank you. Next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. I want to say to all of our teachers how grateful we are for what you do day in and day out. The daily life of a teacher is very complex with multiple layers. Thousands of decisions are made each day as a teacher works in his or her classroom. From helping students learn academically and helping our students grow and develop socially and emotionally, there are a myriad of things that teachers do each day to ensure the success of our students. I put our teachers up against any in the state and the nation. I have seen our teachers in person, and I'm inspired by what they do. Thank you. May 10th is School Nurses Day. Our nurses support our students in their physical health and support their emotional health. We have a cadre of nurses who demonstrate daily a commitment to our children and to each other. When our children are hurt, our nurses help mend them. When our children are not feeling well, our nurses provide a steady hand to help them feel better. Their work sometimes goes unseen, but it is so vital. I thank all of our healthcare workers in our schools for the service they provide to our students and our families. May is Asian American Pacific Islanders Month. It's a time when we celebrate the contributions made by Asian Americans in our country and for the world. Schools in their own way are celebrating this month. May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. As a district, we have continued and augmented our support for mental health through the work done in our schools and the mental health clinics we have established. Through our clinics, we have served more than 250 families, and they have received more than 1,300 therapy sessions. I could share many positive statements, but I think the following speaks to the success of this program. As said by one parent, quote, "This program happened to be starting right at the same time our child really needed extra support. We didn't have to wait weeks for him to get help or deal with insurance issues in the immediate time of stress and concern. The close geographical location was also a huge benefit. Since services were provided at my child's school, it was also comforting and less intimidating for him, especially initially." End of quote. Schools in their own way and through funds we provided the schools have been supporting mental health work and will continue during this month. And before I turn the meeting over, I would like the Board of Ed to approve the appointment of Dr. Lewis Lee to be the next Deputy Superintendent of Schools effective July 1, 2023. Dr. Lee will be replacing Mr. Doug Icarius, who is leaving to become Superintendent of Community Consolidated School District 89 in Glen Ellen. Dr. Lee is currently our Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources. Before that, he was our Assistant Superintendent over our high schools. He brings a wealth of knowledge and experiences, one of which is his ability to create positive relationships with all with whom he works. Ms. Donahue, I'll now turn the meeting back to you.
Okay, I need a motion to approve Dr. Lewis Lee as Deputy Superintendent as presented.
I move that the Board of Education approve Dr. Lewis Lee as Deputy Superintendent as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Michelle, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Grover,
Yes.
Mr. Rising,
Yes.
Mr. Carubas,
Yes.
Ms. Jane,
Yes.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
and Ms. Deming.
Aye.
The motion passes. Congratulations, Dr. Lee. Now we move to our consent agenda item. I need a motion for the approval of consent agenda items E through L.
I move that the Board of Education approve consent agenda items C through L.
E through.
E through L. Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? Michelle, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Grover,
Yes.
Mr. Carubus,
Yes.
Ms. Jane,
Yes.
Mr. Rising,
Yes.
Ms. Deming,
Aye.
and Ms. Donahue.
Aye. The motion passes. All right. Next to our action items, I need a motion and a second to approve the 2023-2024 school board meeting calendar as presented.
I move that the Board of Education approve the 2023-2024 school board meeting calendar as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Michelle, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Grover,
Yes.
Ms. Jane,
Yes.
Mr. Carubus,
Yes.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes.
Mr. Rising,
Yes.
and Ms. Deming.
Aye.
The motion passes. I need a motion and a second to approve the DuPage Crisis Intergovernmental Agreement as presented.
I move that the board approve the DuPage Crisis Intergovernmental Agreement as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Michelle, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Grover,
Yes.
Ms. Deming,
Aye.
Mr. Carubus,
Yes.
Ms. Jane,
Yes.
Mr. Rising,
Yes.
and Ms. Donahue.
Yes, motion passes. Now, I need a motion and a second to appoint Dr. Adrian Talley as the President Pro Tem for the special organizational meeting until a new board president is elected as presented.
I move that the board approve to appoint Dr. Adrian Talley as President Pro Tem for the special organizational meeting until a new board president is elected as presented.
I second.
Any discussion? Michelle, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Grover,
Yes.
Ms. Jane,
Yes.
Mr. Carubus,
Yes.
Ms. Donahue,
Yes,
Ms. Deming,
Aye.
and Mr. Rising.
Yes, your meeting, Dr. Talley.
the motion passes. I guess you should say that, right?
So I take the gavel
Right, yes. Okay, all right. We will now have a presentation from Dr. Adrian Talley regarding the results of the official canvassing for the returns from the DuPage County Election Commission.
Thank you very much. So the election was held recently, and I just want to go through the votes for the people who are going to be on the board starting after this meeting. There were 3 candidates running for 3 seats, and our Katie Ginsey was with 10,070 votes. Katie Gintz, not Ginsey, pardon me, Katie.
That's okay, President.
Justin Carubus with 10,092 votes, and Mark Rising with 11,027 votes. And so they have won their seats, and so we will be swearing them in after for the next meeting. Congratulations to all 3 of you.
I'll just make a comment to encourage people to vote again in the future. The vote turnout was extremely low, under 20%. And this board handles a lot of very important decisions, as you could tell from the audience and comments tonight. So thank you. All right. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting in a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are adjourned.
We'll be back in
Take a 5-minute break.
Yes.